Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dragon here from Dragon's Food and Travel, and today we're making one of the world's favorite snacks, fried wings. Now the question is, who doesn't love fried wings? That crispy outside and soft juicy meat. Ooh la la, my mouth's watering right now. And because I showed you two of my favorite hot sauces for wings, I said let's put them side by side and let's see who wins the hot wings challenge. Now if you didn't see my peri-peri sauce and buffalo sauce recipes, go check them out so you can have the best hot wings ever. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go down to that subscribe button and give it a hot smack and turn on the notifications so you'll be up to date with all my upcoming videos. Now let me show you how to make the most crispy and juicy hot wings ever. What you would need for the brine: 2 liters of water, 30 grams of garlic, 3 fresh chili, 5 grams of thyme, 125 grams of salt, 60 grams of brown sugar, 3 grams whole black peppercorn. What we're going to do for the brine is we are going to roughly chop our aromatics that will give the brine flavor and infuse into the chicken. You don't want to chop them too small, especially the garlic. With garlic, the more fine you chop it, the more intense the flavor is, and we don't want a very intense flavor. As for the chili and thyme, it's just a rough chop. In a mixing bowl, we will add the chopped garlic, chopped chili, chopped thyme, some whole black peppercorns, 125 grams or 2/3 of a cup of salt, 60 grams or 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, it's no problem. You can use white sugar. Now the trick is to add a little bit of boiled or warm water so you can dissolve that sugar and salt well. I use 500 ml. Now give it a mix till most of the salt and sugar is dissolved. Why do I use a brine? 2 very important reasons. Number 1, to infuse flavor into your chicken, and number 2, to keep the chicken moist. How does it work? Well, the salt solution will first extract any impurities in the meat and bring it to the top of your liquid. And then after some time, the chicken will absorb some of the solution, giving it moisture and flavor. If you cook the chicken for a longer period of time, there will be more liquid in the muscles, therefore keeping it moist and juicy. Now that most of the salt and sugar is dissolved, we add the remaining 1.5 liters of cold water. Remember, the water cannot be hot or else the chicken will start cooking or the chicken will form a layer of par-cooked meat around, therefore not allowing the process to work or not allowing the salt to infuse into the chicken. And remember guys, I have the recipe for you down in the description. Add your wings to the solution and let it sit in the refrigerator for a minimum of 2 hours and a maximum of 4. If you leave it too long, it gets too salty. Side note, the bigger the pieces of meat, the longer it requires to sit in a brine solution. Now that we have the chicken in the brine, we will let it sit in the fridge for the next 2 hours, and in the meantime we will make a dusting for our wings. What you would need for the breading: 100 grams of all-purpose flour, 100 grams of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper or chili powder, salt to taste. In a decent sized mixing bowl, we will add the all-purpose flour, followed by the cornstarch. And we will combine these 2 ingredients well, making sure that they are mixed all the way through. We use equal parts of flour and cornstarch so you will get a perfect crispy crust on these wings. If you use only flour, the wings will become soggy too quick. And if you only use cornstarch, the crust will be too hard. Now the garlic powder, followed by the onion powder, and sprinkle in some cayenne pepper or chili powder and a teaspoon of salt. And guys, there's my secret: a touch of the white powder, MSG. This makes a world of a difference in flavor. Combine all of these ingredients well and we are ready to dust the wings. By the way, you can use the exact same dusting for sudden fried chicken. Now that 2 hours have passed, I removed the chicken from the brine and gave it a little rinse with cold water to remove any excess salt from the brine. And this is what we are left with. Let's start dusting the wings. As you can see, I have transferred my dusting or breading into a large bowl. This is to make sure that the flour does not splash and mess all over the place. The most important rule when breading chicken or anything that requires breading is work with two hands, a dry hand and a wet hand. What I mean is, the wet hand will touch the unbreaded chicken or the wet ingredient, and the dry hand, which is the second hand, will work the flour and coat the chicken. If you use the same hand for both, it will be a disaster with flour sticking on your hands or gloves. Make sure you coat the wings well and squeeze the flour into the wings before dusting it off and setting it aside. Repeat this process for all of the wings, and then it's time to fry some wings. Let's get cooking. First, we are going to switch on the stove and bring the oil up to temperature. Now, because we are twice frying this chicken wings to get the perfectly crispy crust and moist juicy meat on the inside, the initial fry will be between 120 to 150 degrees Celsius to remove the excess liquid and to cook the wings through. The second fry will be between 180 to 200 degrees Celsius to crisp up the chicken wing. To check if the oil is ready, sprinkle a little flour into the oil. When the flour starts to bubble, the oil is ready. With the remainder of the breading, give the wings a light dust and add them into the oil. Do not overcrowd the pan because the oil temperature will drop, and we don't want this to happen. Cook them for approximately 10 to 12 minutes till they get a light golden color on the outside and they cook through. As you can see, the wings look beautiful right now. So we set them aside and start the second batch. While I had the second batch going, I went ahead and got the peri-peri and buffalo sauce ready for the wings. And guys, if you haven't checked out the buffalo sauce and the peri-peri sauce recipes, I will leave a link in the description below so you can check out those recipes so you can take your fried wings to the next level. Now, after the second batch of wings were cooked, I removed the oil from the heat and ran a sieve through the oil just to remove any large particles that would burn on the second fry. I brought back the oil to the stove and switched it onto a high heat. Remember, we need the oil between 120 to 200 degrees Celsius to crisp up the wings and lock in those beautiful juices. When the oil reaches temperature, we add our wings to the oil, and from here on it takes about 2 minutes till they are beautifully crispy. We will remove them and the wings will be ready. And there you have it, guys, crispy fried chicken wings. Now let's take it to the next level. For the buffalo wings, add the wings to a bowl. Just listen to that. Now add your buffalo sauce. Give it a little toss. I wish you could smell this right now. Now for the peri-peri sauce, we will add the wings to a bowl. Now add the peri-peri sauce. And can you smell that, guys? I'm drooling right now. Well guys, there you have it. You got the buffalo wings on the right and the peri-peri wings on the left. Now I know the peri-peri is going to be spicy, so I'm going to go to buffalo and then we'll do the peri-peri. So let's do it. That is amazing. Look at that. Still juicy. You know what? You got to do it with the hands. You can't have wings with a fork. That's what it is. Now, Bismillah. I know this thing's gonna be spicy but nice. Flavorful. It's hard to choose. For me, the peri-peri does it. Thank you for watching. Until the next video.